if you want to live in a creative way, which will benefit everything in your life, be a better person in your family, be a better, if you're starting a new business, do a better job of starting a new business. It's all the same. I don't really know anything about music. It's more a way of looking at the world and wanting it to be the best it could possibly be, and doing whatever it takes to be the best it could possibly be, and being true to knowing that no one else knows. I'm not saying I know, but that everyone's idea is as valuable as mine. We're all creators. From the beginning, I never thought any of the things that I'm doing were possible or realistic, and I just did things out of the love of them, thinking I would have real jobs, and like the thing that my passion would be my hobby, and I'd have a job to support my hobby.
Yeah.
And it just magically turned out different than that without me knowing it was possible. The stars line up at certain times for certain things to happen, and they happen. And sometimes you can make something great and it doesn't connect for whatever reason. I found this out from making a lot of stuff. Like sometimes you make two things that you think are the two best things you ever made, and one of them connects with the world and one of them doesn't. And it might not have anything to do with what's in the art. It might have to do with, it came out the same day as this other thing came out, and that got in the way, or there was a bigger story at the time, or there was some other, who knows, or it's not it's not in the cards for that person to have that success. It's like there's so much to it that we don't understand.
Yeah.
All we can do is make something good and put it out and hope for the best, and that's all there is. We never know why does something work? Even if you make a piece of art, you might, and it works, you may not know why. It's like there are a lot of talented people who never make it because they don't have the work ethic to make it. It's not just talent. Like, talent's a piece.
Yeah.
And you could argue for some people the work ethic trumps the talent. What makes it great is the personal.
Yeah.
With all of its imperfections, with all of its quirkiness, that's what makes it great. How you see the world, that's different from how everyone else sees the world. That's why you're an artist. That's your purpose in sharing your work with the world. You can't second guess your own taste for what someone else is going to like. It won't be good.
Right.
We're not smart enough to know what someone else is going to like. To make something. Well, I don't really like it, but I think this group of people like it. It's a bad way to play the game of music or art. You have to do what's personal to you, take it as far as you could go, really push the boundaries, and people will resonate with it if they're supposed to resonate with it, but you can't get there the other way. The other way is a dead-end path. We really are talking about magic. We're talking about like the universe conspiring on our behalf if we let it. And to be in this flow of catching these waves that anyone can catch if you're trying to catch it, you're open to it, you see it coming, you take off on every chance you get, and sometimes the ride happens, and it's remarkable. It's remarkable how it happens. And it doesn't come from, it's not preconceived, it's not an idea, it's through the doing. These things that want to be, that the universe wants to happen now, comes through us. And if we don't do it, maybe someone else will do it. Have you ever had that experience where you have an idea for something and you don't do it, and then 6 months later you see that someone else has done it? It's not because they took your idea, it's that it's time for that. And you can act on it or not. And if you see, and the artists, the best artists are the ones who have the best antenna for this material that's available. It's coming through. The best comedians see the best jokes. They see them coming. We all live in the same world. The way you see it, you have the best joke because you see it best. And one of the reasons I believe that you can see it best is because you don't believe what the structure around you assumes to be the case. We all are artists. The question is, are we a better artist today than we were yesterday? And are we doing everything we can to be the best artist we can be tomorrow? And we're all art. We may not all be Da Vinci, but are we better than we were? And can we continue to become better and better and better? And it's an ongoing, iterative process over the course of our lives. People want to be accepted. And I'm suggesting in the book that the best way to be accepted is to be yourself. It's not to change yourself to what someone else thinks. First of all, you don't really know what someone else thinks. And if you're not genuine to yourself, there's like nothing is there. It's just a projection or a mask. It's not true. And there's something about authenticity. Like, I get to work with artists, some of whom have very different ways of seeing the world than me. And I support their vision 1,000,000%, even though whatever they're talking about I may be diametrically opposed to what they're talking about. But I support them 1,000,000%, and anything I can do to support them getting their message across the clearest they can, I support that. The only way we can learn anything is through the reality of seeing what's around us and learning there are these different points of view around us. If we're all thinking the same thing, it's boring. Why would we make anything if everyone thinks the same thing? What makes us interesting are the differences. And even the imperfections. The imperfections are what makes us humans, what makes us what we are. The only people who we can honestly compete with is ourselves. It's like, is this the best I can make today? Have I gone further than I've gone before? That's all we can do. That's the only competition that makes sense, is continuing to evolve and push ourselves artistically and not get complacent, especially in success. It's easy to get complacent once something works. It's like, I'll just keep doing more of that. It ends up maybe one more time you can get away with it, but once 3 are similar, it stops being interesting. I think so many of the great artists do it naturally. You can't help it. It's the obsessive nature of being really into something that once you start down a thread, you just keep pulling forever if you're interested. Many of the artists that are great at what they do are great at what they do for that very reason. They fall in love with this thing, and then they just want to know everything they could possibly learn about it. And there are no distractions. I'm working on a project now, a documentary project with comedians. And one of the things that they talk about is their commitment. Like, when other people are doing things on the weekend, going out with their friends, they're going to perform every night that they can possibly go out and perform until they can get good at their craft. And this could be for a period of, 10 years of just having bad performances, having people not like what you do, like banging your head against the wall. But that obsession with breaking through. And when I say breaking through, I don't mean breaking through to the audience. I mean breaking through with themselves to where they get past all of the blocks and to be free in this moment in a way where they can really express their views and be heard, and people can react. It's a fascinating thing. I think in general, people don't like to be told what to do. Yeah. So the best way that you can inspire someone to do something is through the way that you carry yourself. And if you act in a creative way in the world and you do it to the best of your ability, and if someone else recognizes it, it might inspire them to do the same. So I think it's hard to teach someone something that we don't practice. If you need to have a job to support yourself, that's great. That's a noble thing to do. And follow your dreams. But I'm not saying they're one thing. Yes. They don't have to be one thing. And don't let following your dreams undermine your ability to support yourself. It could actually do the opposite. If you decide, I want to be a comedian and I'm putting all my eggs in the comedian basket and I'm going to be a comedian, the pressure of having to support yourself will change you as a comedian, not for the better. You want the stability of being able to take care of yourself in the world, to be free to do whatever your passion is, whatever it is. I think there's a mythology that the people who make things that we love are special people, and that we think that they're, the people on Mount Olympus, and they're these magic people who are geniuses, and then there's the rest of us. And that's not the case. It's like we're all just people. We're all doing our best. We all are good at some things, not good at other things. We're humans. And sometimes we find a way to make something beautiful. Call came, how do you feel? You have the #1 album in the country. And I remember saying, I've never been more unhappy in my life. And I think we mistakenly think some kind of outward success is going to change something in us, and it does not. It may make life more comfortable, but it doesn't change who we are. And any hole in ourselves that we're hoping to fill does not get filled. And if let's say you spend 20 years of your life working towards a goal that's going to solve everything, and then you finally achieve what you've been trying to do for 20 years, toiling away. I won't have any fun because I'm working for 20 years for this end. And then you get that end and nothing changes. That's when you get hopeless. So it's not uncommon to see very successful artists who are very unhappy in life because they're working towards the thing that's going to make them feel better. And it does not make them feel better. I'm sure you've got to meet many very successful business people, billionaire people. Very few of them are happy. Very few. And they've accomplished their dreams and are unhappy because we don't know what we want. We don't know what's going to make us happy. We're trying to fill something that maybe can't be filled through material or cultural success, public success. It's something else. It's some internal thing. Don't do things just because you think you're going to get something for it. That's not why we do things. Yeah. Do what's interesting to you. Follow what's interesting. Don't worry about the outcome.
Yeah.
We don't know. We can't predict the outcome. We can never predict the outcome. Follow your own inner guide. It directs us. It might not make sense. It might not make sense to us. Might not make sense to anyone else. Certainly won't make sense to anyone else. But it might not even make sense to us. And that's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
Listen to yourself. Why is it telling you this? We can live in a way where we're living in an artful way, where we're engaged and paying attention and making each choice count, or we can live in almost like sleepwalking through the day, which many of us do. Many of us do just go along.
Yeah.
Just repeat yesterday again. And I suppose the principal argument of the book, although it didn't set out to be this way, is that the way we choose to live in the world impacts our ability to make more beautiful things. So the only advice I would have would be to not listen to anyone and to do what you love and to make things that you love, whatever it is. Make your favorite things. Be the audience. Make the thing for you the audience. It doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks. And if you have to get a job to support yourself so that you can make your art, that's fine. You can't make art for someone else. You can't make art with someone else in mind. I don't believe it can be good.
So what does success feel like? Are you grateful? Are you proud of the work you've done in the past? Or is there some engine of constant dissatisfaction, like self-criticism of I could have done better?
No, I'm pleased with the work that we did. excited to keep working. It's fun. I don't know what else I would do with myself because I like making things. It's fun. I feel like it's my reason to be on the planet.
I'm extremely self-critical. So you don't have that self-criticism, harsh, like this could have been better.
If it could have been better, I would keep working on it. It's like, if it could be better, it's not done. Well, it's the best it can be. I've done everything I can to make it the best it can be. And that's all. I can't do more than that. So there's nothing to be critical of. I did if you always give all of yourself and do your best, which you're capable of doing, I'm not suggesting that you're capable of doing more than you can do, but whatever it is that you can do, if you've given all of yourself to it, you've done your best. Where could there be regret? It's one of the main jobs. My jobs as a record producer is to keep the voices away from the artist, from all of the people who are really on their side but don't know. Like whether it be people, anyone on the business side who doesn't make things, they're excited to do their part. They're excited when you deliver the thing, the art that you make to me, then we can start the project. But there's nothing to sell if the art doesn't happen in the right way, and it has to be protected, and it can't happen on the same kind of a timetable that business can. It's just a different thing. Art doesn't come in a quarterly way. The other side of it is, in success, there can be a lack of reality where all of the people around the successful person just tell them everything they do is great. And then they don't have anything to bump up against anymore, or have a realistic sense of how things work, or how things measure, So both sides are really important, both avoiding the voices getting in the way and having a trusted group of, a sangha, a group of people who can say, I don't know if that's as good. And you can still, say, I don't care what you think, that's fine. But it helps to hear it. It helps to have, if someone who you respect tells you something isn't good enough, it's helpful.
When it comes from a place of love, when it comes from a place of wisdom.
100%. And not from a place of fear, not from a place of, oh, this doesn't sound like it's going to do as well as your last thing. That's not the point. The point is, on this quest for greatness, are you living up to your ability? I believe we're vehicles for information that when it's ready to come through, it comes through. And the people who have good antennas pick up the signal. But if I'm sure you've had an experience in your life where you've had an idea for something and you've not acted on it, and eventually someone else does it. And it's not because they're doing it because you had the idea and they stole your idea. It's because the time has come for that idea. And if you don't do it, someone else is going to do it.
It's being broadcast by whatever the source is.
Whatever the source is. I think we all have our own antenna for whatever it is that maybe not everyone has tuned into their antenna to see what it is that their strength in bringing through is. I'm lucky in that it found me because I didn't know that I didn't even know this was a job. A lot of the job also is the expectation. It's like setting up an expectation that we really can make a great Black Sabbath record that stands alongside their best work. I can remember having a conversation with Johnny Cash saying, on our first album, saying, we're going to make the best album you ever made. And he looked at me like I was insane. How could you even think that way? He felt like he hadn't made a good record in probably 25 years and had been discarded. At the time that I met him, he was playing at dinner theaters and had been dropped from 2 labels and nobody cared. So the idea of shifting that, reframing the experience to not just, well, let's just do an album, but let's do whatever it takes for it to be the best album you've ever made. What would that sound like? How would that work? How much work would go into it? Are you willing to commit to that?
Yeah.
It's because it's not easy, and some artists don't like it, and I've worked with some artists where it hasn't worked out, where they just are not willing to do the work.